everyone, I'm Kevin Elson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. During an audience this past week with Cardinal Angelo Amato, prefect of the Congregation for Saints' Causes, Pope Francis advanced the sainthood causes of Wisconsin-born Capuchin Father Solanus Casey, 5 religious, 4 lay people, and 2 cardinals, including Vietnamese Cardinal Francois Nguyen Van Thuan. Rome Reports has more from the Vatican.
Vietnamese Cardinal Francois Xavier Van Thuan is one step away from beatification. The Pope has signed a decree officially recognizing that he heroically lived out the Christian virtues. As soon as a miracle is able to be proven through his intercession, he may be beatified. In 1975, 2 days after Paul VI appointed him coadjutor bishop of Saigon, the communist regime locked him away in prison. He was accused of conspiring with the Vatican and spent 13 years in prison, 9 of them in total isolation. Yet he always carried a cross with a chain that he had clandestinely constructed during his days in prison.
Questa catena è fatto di filo elettrico della prigione che I carcerieri hanno tagliato per me e mi hanno prestito 2 piccoli denari per tagliare e fare insieme in 4 ore questa catena. La testimonianza più grande è l'amore, il perdono, la riconciliazione. Dimenticare il passato e pensare all'avvenire per poter insieme edificare il mio paese, poter insieme costruire un mondo più bello, come ho detto l'altro giorno alle UR. L'avvenire è più bello che tutti i passati.
Pope Francis has also recognized the miracles that will allow the beatification of a Capuchin monk from Detroit, Francesco Solanus Casey, and Catherine of Mary from Argentina. In addition, he has also recognized the heroic virtues of the Italian mystic Edvige Carboni, who had many visions, in Spanish, Maria Guadalupe Ortiz de Landarzuri, who started Opus Dei in Mexico.
Father Solanus Casey was a member of the Capuchin Franciscan Order of St. Joseph in Detroit and one of the co-founders of the city's Capuchin Soup Kitchen. He was known for his great faith and humility and gained a popular following during his lifetime, with healings attributed to his intercession both before and after his death. Archbishop Alan Vineron of Detroit said the beatification of Father Casey is an incomparable grace for the church in the Archdiocese of Detroit and for the whole community of Southeast Michigan. Looking now at news from around the country, reaction has been pouring in, both positive and negative, since the passing of the American Health Care Act by the House of Representatives on May 4th. Bishop Frank Duane, chairman of the U.S. Bishops' Committee on Domestic Justice and Social Development, said in a statement that although the American Health Care Act does offer critical life protections, the bill also has harmful measures that will adversely affect low-income people, including immigrants. Representative Chris Smith of New Jersey, co-chair of the Congressional Pro-Life Caucus, voted no on the bill, largely, he said, because of cuts to Medicaid, undercutting of essential health benefits such as maternity care, newborn care, and pediatric services, and weakens coverage of pre-existing health conditions. Dominican sister Donna Markin, president and CEO of Catholic Charities USA, said the bill fails to provide access to affordable health care for the millions who still live without coverage. Jeannie Mancini, president of the March for Life, in a statement applauded the bill for redirecting funding away from Planned Parenthood to community health centers that offer comprehensive women's care. The American Health Care Act will now move on to the Senate, where it will face more scrutiny and an uncertain future. More news from the Vatican. The White House and the Vatican have now confirmed that President Trump will meet Pope Francis May 24th as part of his first foreign trip as president. Rome Reports has more on that announcement from the Vatican.
The Holy See has confirmed that President Trump will come to Rome to personally meet Pope Francis during his first international trip as U.S. president. Trump has now added visits to Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the Vatican to his originally planned May trip. He will continue with his schedule by attending a NATO meeting on Thursday, May 25th in Brussels, Belgium, and will then go to Sicily for a G7 summit on Friday. During his newly announced trip to the Vatican, he will also meet with Secretary of State Cardinal Pietro Parolin and the Secretary for Relations with the States, Archbishop Paul Gallagher. With this recent addition, President Trump will now follow in the long line of past United States presidents who have all met with the head of the Roman Catholic Church.
According to White House officials, the visit at the Vatican, in Saudi Arabia, and in Israel is an attempt to unite three of the world's leading religious faiths in the common cause of fighting terrorism, reigning in Iran, and unifying the world against intolerance. And finally in the news, on the National Day of Prayer, President Donald Trump signed the executive order entitled Promoting Free Speech and Religious Liberty. The order addresses a number of issues and states that cabinet offices shall consider issuing amended regulations consistent with applicable law to address conscience-based objections to the preventive care mandate. Another aspect of the order is the weakening of the 1954 Johnson Amendment, which bans churches and nonprofit organizations of all types from participating in partisan political activity at the risk of losing their tax-exempt status. Regarding religious liberty, the order states that in order to guide all agencies in complying with relevant federal law, the Attorney General shall, as appropriate, issue guidance interpreting religious liberty protections in federal law. Prior to the signing, three religious leaders, including Washington Cardinal Donald Wuerl, offered prayers during a ceremony for the National Day of Prayer. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.